Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Happy 2026. 'Tis be the year of 2026, army mateys. Remember when there was talk like a pirate day? This must have been the 2000s, 2009. Around 2009, circa 2009. Uh, I don't know if the calendars, do we still have calendars in the year 2026? But around 2009, I was working in radio, and there was a Talk Like a Pirate Day. You know, there's like National Slurpee Day, 7-Eleven Day, Appreciate a Cat Day, Mean Muggin' Day, Ancient B-Boy Day, Street Art Day. You know, there's all these different days that if corporations want to entice people to purchase things more, they pay big calendar. Obviously, clearly, they pay big calendar to put like, hey, double hot dog day is of course January 4th. You got to buy double hot dogs, and then people because their needs are not met, people latch on to anything in the culture that will give them a distraction from life and working to survive. And they'll be like, oh, double hot dog day is coming up. What are you doing for double hot dog day? Kind of like, I think they took Taco Tuesday and just ran with it and made, events throughout the year. So, circa 2008, 2009 ish. I remember there was a day on the calendar. I couldn't tell you what day. It was National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Of course, Big Pirate really, really lobbied the calendar people, Big Calendar, hard to get Talk Like a Pirate Day, to try and normalize talking like a pirate. And I was working in radio, and there was this one girl that loved National Talk Like a Pirate Day and would talk like a pirate all day. And I must admit, it lifts your spirits when you see people enjoying themselves that much in life. It really does. Army matey. Couldn't say I enjoyed it or partook in that, unless there was a ripe joke to be made. But yeah, back in I don't know if we still do that, as the internet just ruined everything. Have we gone so deep into internet culture that just like the calendar is a bunch of memes? Today's Grumpy Cat. What's up, Crush? Crush Dice. Happy New Year. Happy in the year of our Lord 2026. Happy New Year. May it be a prosperous, blessed, and radical socialist new year. Mamdani got what do they do? Sworn in? Is that what it's called? They swear him in? Do they like ring bells or something? I don't know. Do they hear church bells ringing? They do the white smoke like the Pope? I don't know what they do for mayors. I think it's all unimportant. What's important is the work he does. So may Mamdani ring in 2026 as the year of the radical woke socialist. I'm excited. Universal healthcare. Did you guys, by the way, Crush, sub, share, like, and smash the notification bell. Thank you very much. And Crush, great imagery. I'm always liking your posts, Crush, when you're showing us old dirty jers. In fact, I meant to take a photo earlier, Crush. I don't know if you've seen the East Coast sunset this tis evening, the 1st of 2026. But Crush, I was thinking as I watched the sunset through the sticks and buildings, because all the trees are bare. And when you just see sticks and buildings and this almost like, I don't even know. It's just a weird mix of depression colors. It's all like the deepest, darkest reds and oranges and purples in the East Coast sunsets. The Northeast, I should say. The Northeast Coast sunsets this time of year have these very, tinge of depression colors. I even believe nature has seasonal depression. And I thought tonight's sunset just looks so gorgeous because it's just the smidgen of coloring and then a bright dusk sky. And I was like, yo, there's some good. I love the nature. Nature's perfect on her colors, man. And I love when people post like that. So Crush posts some of the East Coast sunsets. CJ, what's up? Good to see you. Yes, it is revolutionary time. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to have a little fun. Listen, you know, I'm not trying to dig into the news on the first of the year. I'm trying to get my mind right, ready to take over in 2026. It's going to be prosperous. It's going to be auspicious. It's going to be radical. It's going to be socialist all the way. And not just socialism for, the welfare queens like Trill Trillon Musk. We're gonna call him Trill now because he's a trillionaire. Not just for Trillon Musk, who can sit as CEO at 4 companies and then have a special appointment within the government where he put a video game set up in his office. I'm like, who the fuck believes that Elon Musk works hard? Who? Are there people still out there that that Elon Musk himself hasn't dispelled the rumor that he's a mockery of somebody who works? Like he's basically mocking the working man. He's like, "Look, I'm CEO of 4 companies and I'm working in the government to harvest your data and take all your government contracts. And I'm putting a video game. I'm putting Super Nintendo in my office so I can play video games." It's like, bro, if you're heading 4 companies and have a government special appointment because you weren't elected because you're an illegal immigrant, Elon, from South Africa, maybe you shouldn't be playing video games or like allot it to the nighttime, I love how this guy pretends like, oh, I work hard and we're going to do hardcore mode. But then he's like tweeting all day. Like, have you ever gone to work and tweeted all day? You're not working, you're tweeting. But but what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So not just socialism for this turd, but for the people. For the people. For the people. Not just socialism for these people. Look, FBI uncovered $1.7 billion healthcare fraud perpetuated by immigrants. Just kidding. That was Rick Scott. Robbing the government, and nobody cares. And Floridians elected him to office, even though he perpetuated the largest healthcare fraud in America. So we're done with this. We're holding these people to account, and we're swearing them in and taking them over. God bless Mamdani, whichever one he worships. I don't give a shit. Just do good by the people, man. That's it. Look at him, already hard at work in, what is that? An office? I don't know. It looks like a nice hotel. And we're done with this fake bullshit. We're done with this fake. I mean, from the tan to the prizes to the awards, it's all fake. It's all fake. I'm done with it. He's hollow like a fucking, what's hollow? Like a bone. Are bones hollow? Okay, hold on. Let's get to the comments. What up, Dice? What up, Bob? Happy New Year, everyone. Just hope you're well. KRAR. There we go. KRAR. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the new year. Good to see everybody in the new year. It's way past time to make rich people very uncomfortable. They've been too comfy for too long. They've had it too good for too long. And if they can't afford 100% tax on $1 billion, CJ, you know what we say. Then maybe you're living outside your means and you're going to have to readjust. You're going to have to cut back from 4 yachts to 3, maybe even 2. Those trips to Ibiza every month? Well, you're only going to have to do them bi-monthly now. Fuck these oligarchs. So we're going to talk about some stuff. And of course, to bring in the new year, I think we're going to start a new tradition. I'm going to play some of my favorite people for you. Mr. Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred. Go subscribe to his son, Chairman Fred of the Panther Cubs. He's doing good work over on YouTube. Please go subscribe to Chairman Fred. I'm going to play you some Fred Hampton, some Tupac. And then we're going to just, we'll have a little fun. Play some stuff. Because I don't know, did you guys see this? I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. I still love the show. I just don't watch it. And The Simpsons made an amazing reference to Mr. Luigi Mangione. I believe that's Italian for God gift to the working class. I could be wrong. I don't speak Italian, but I'm pretty sure Luigi Mangione in Italian means God's gift to the working class. I'm not going to look it up, and I'm not going to take Italian on Duolingo. I have enough languages, thank you. Oh, somebody said you're the broke, soft-handed losers. No, we're holding those people accountable. We're holding these people, the broke, soft-handed losers, the frauds, the tans, the fake bone spurs. We're holding these people to account. The soft-handed losers like Elon, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, old Botox face, Tim Pool, who hides his hairline. We're holding these soft-handed losers to account. Us working people are finally going to hold them to account, no matter how much oil they try to pirate from other countries. We're holding them to account. Oh, CJ turned 50 this year. If anyone calls me kid, there's going to be trouble. Well, I'm going to call you kid because that's a local colloquialism here in Massachusetts. We call everybody kid. You don't get to age out of being called kid, CJ. What do you think, my Pacific Coast friends? 2026. This has got to be the year I bring the family out to the Pacific Coast, and we have a meetup out in the troll and gnome troll and gnome infested rainforests of the Pacific Southwest. How about that? That sounds like a good plan, okay? I want to come out to the Pacific Southwest. I've never seen the redwoods and them giant trees and the rainforests you guys got out there. That's what we're going to do 2026, all right? And if you're in the Pacific Southwest, shout out to you, much love. Keep holding it down and keep being weird out there, okay? Keep being weird out there. And let me say, oh, Sassy Mo's here. Good to see y'all. Good to see all the families here. Good to see all the families here. I love seeing you guys in the new year. I appreciate you stopping in to spend some time with me. And for those of you who are new and understand that Luigi Mangione in Italian means God's gift to the working class, God's gift to people who need healthcare, or God's gift to people who needed no time limits on anesthesia, then hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I go live every weekday. Oh, you say it's a holiday? I say I'm spending some time with you, my friends. I'm saying let's ring in the new year correct. The year of the radical socialist has begun. It begun with the swearing of Mamdani. The Simpsons are, oh, hold on. Time Magazine. Oh, I should have taken a photo of that for you guys. Somebody made a Luigi Mangione on Time with a sweater that says "Eat the Rich." My God, that might be my next tattoo. I'm just kidding. I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting from my next tattoo. All right, let me play this clip of The Simpsons referencing Luigi Mangione. Beautiful name, beautiful human. Yeah. Okay, here's The Simpsons. And just for reference, Bart is taking a photo of his dad, Homer, next to the Bumblebee guy. I forget what the Bumblebee guy is. You know, he's like the Spanish TV comedian who dresses like a bumblebee. And in this episode, the backstory is in this episode, Homer is the Bumblebee man's stunt double. Okay, so now that you understand that, here's The Simpsons referencing Saint Luigi.
Set high-five Dad, even the non-writing producers.
Ooh, they're a hard bunch to please.
Bart's proud of Dad.
Bart's proud of Dad.
Oh, it's true. I can't wait to tell the kids at school that my dad is Bumblebee Man's stunt guy.
No dice, boy. That's a secret. Remember I signed that MDMA?
Oh, man, what's the use of having a badass in the family if you can't brag about him? Now I know how the Mangiones feel.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Did you guys hear it?
And if you can't brag about him, now I know how the Mangiones feel.
And that MDMA?
Oh, man, what's the use of having a badass in the family if you can't brag about him? Now I know how the Mangiones feel.
That is so good. It's so weird. I remember when Bart sounded like a kid. Now, clearly his voice actor has aged. Now he sounds, you know, like Marge's sisters, Patty and Selma. Interesting. I haven't watched the new Simpsons in a while, but yes, The Simpsons referenced Saint Luigi. Bart says, "Oh, what's the point of having a badass in the family if you can't brag about him? Now I know how the Mangiones feel." Oh damn. Oh damn. Speaking of respect to the Pacific Northwest, if you don't know, Simpsons creator from there, came out of Evergreen College, I believe. I'm not sure. but much respect to the writers of The Simpsons. The writers, the animators, the non-writing producers, as referenced, and everybody who made that happen, because that is incredible. Now let's get to we'll touch upon the news. Okay, we're gonna touch the news, not in the Donald Trump, Jeff Epstein touch way. We're just gonna gently, with consent, caress it. We're not gonna Epstein, Donald Trump touch the news, but we're just gonna brush upon it. Not in a Joe Biden kind of smelling your hair way. Not in a Donald Trump and Epstein, grab them by the news. We're gonna just briefly touch upon the news. Okay, is that making sense? Everybody following along? We're not going to touch the news in a Donald, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend kind of way, where he's like, you just get in there when you're famous, you can grab the news right by the newsies, right by the nussy. Is Alma here? Is Alma here? Alma, thank you for that. We're not going to grab the news by the nussy. We're just going to briefly introduce ourselves, ask for consent, and then we'll play some news. Here it is. This is Socialist Mamdani. Socialist, year of socialism. In the year of our Lord 2026, the woke radical socialists took over and took this country back from the bro-oligarchy. They said, we're tired of meme coins and rug pulls and your Logan and Jake Pauls. And we took it back, folks. Here is Mamdani.
We will transform the culture of City Hall from one of no to one of how. We will answer to all New Yorkers, not to any billionaire or oligarch who thinks they can buy our democracy. We will govern without shame and insecurity, making no apology for what we believe. I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist.
That's so amazing. I wish I took a picture of the end of this for you. There's a freeze frame I got right here where it's AOC and Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders got his mittens and his hat and the jacket. And that's just, man, it's good to see. And it's good to see happening in New York. God damn. Makes me proud. Makes me proud to see that. That's amazing. You know that, right? Because New York, famously, trendsetter of the world at times, I would say France, New York, LA. Where else do we get trends from? That's where I know when I was growing up, all my family in New York, man, they leaked the hottest verbiage. That's where I would find out all the new stuff. I learned about the wallet inspector when I was real young, bring my friends down to visit my family in New York, and my cousin would come by and be like, oh, you didn't understand. You're in New York. I need a wallet inspector. I need to inspect that wallet. My friend would be like, well, really? Give him his wallet. My friend would go, thanks, it's good, and just put it in his pocket. Or when my uncle said, does that ice cream smell bad? He said, is that ice cream you can't smell it? Does that smell bad? And you go like this, and you push your head in it. They were setting trends, man. You learn young when you got family from New York. Holy shit. You got to learn to be on your P's and Q's and T's and A's and all that stuff. How do you think Donald Trump is a coastal Nepo baby elite from New York? You know that. That's why he grifted all them Midwesters, all those Arkansas soy boys. That were like, Donald Trump, you said you came here and you loved us. We need to see the fruits of your love. I swear I saved the clip of that. Hold on. Boom, da, boo, ba. Let's see. I know I saved the clip. Do I have it, though? Farmer, here it is.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
You hear that? The audio is kind of bad because this is from the news, but that Arkansas soy boy farmer, he farms soy, said, Mr. Trump, you came here and said that you loved me. I need to see the fruits of them love. I'm not sure, farmer soy boy, that you want to see the fruits of that love. The way Donald Trump loves people is usually in an Epstein-esque way. He might grab you by the nussy. CJ, love you. No one can rid society of capitalism. We need to tax wealth, not labor. Now, we can actually fight capitalism. We can. You segued me right into one of my favorite humans to have ever walked this earth. Right next to Harriet Tubman, Tupac, Kurt Cobain, Anthony Bourdain, Hunter Thompson. There's quite a few artists as well. Salvador Dali, etc., etc. All the Impressionist painters, can we just lump them into one? Impressionism is Bob Ross. I mean, okay, we're not going to list favorite people right now, but you get my point. And this is on the Mount, I don't want to call it Rushmore, but this is on the top of the mountain for amazing people. And like CJ said, no one can rid society of capitalism, but we can. We can.
We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is just a byproduct of capitalism. If we don't hate the motherfucker white people, we hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow. We're going to fight racism, not with racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity. We said we're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. And these people, this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism because fascism will stop us all. That's what people say. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself.
If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. Socialism is for, by the people, to uplift the people. Long live the legacy of Mr. Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred Hampton. I want to play another clip of Chairman Fred. This one's very important for all those people that cheered along while they dismantled and defunded education in America, which they didn't start with Donald Trump, but he certainly helped put one of them last coffin nails into it. This has been a long work, starting with student debt and all the things that Reagan did, and the expression or the phrase where they said, we can't have an educated proletariat on our hands. But this is a long time coming, and now we're seeing the fruits of the hard work, or really not the hard work, but the lobbying work done of the 1%, the wealth class, the elites. They have dismantled education, gate-kept it from any kind of poor people, or let them get saddled with debt to jobs that don't pay to cover the debt. And if it's so important to understand that is by design. And even in the news today with that viral Minnesota Nick Shirley cat going viral, and then just everyone hopping on. Nobody checked it. No one vetted it. I didn't even talk about it because I went, this stinks of right-wing grift. This just smells like fraud itself, the video itself. It was no journalism, it was grift mediocrity at best, because even the people in it didn't look convincing. And this YouTube grifter, this is how uneducated people are. He puts a video that goes viral, probably amplified by bots and algorithms, and obviously the right-wing grift machine, which is a lot of bots and a lot of paid foreign influencers and actors. And that gets hyped up to the level where the government reacts to it. The government isn't taking actions on things. When they're taking actions on things, they're building prisons or oppressing people. Their reaction mode is to grift. It's to a grift. And this is why it's so important, especially in the day and age of our Lord, the year 2026, where AI and virality has really dictated the discussion from work to politics to religion. People have at least some kind of firm basis and understanding in critical thinking, common sense, in discernment. And we are lacking that to the utmost degree. And Fred Hampton saw this, Chairman Fred saw this decades ago. And this was the cornerstone of his movement, education. And this is one of my favorite clips, Fred Hampton on the importance of revolutionary education from Haymarket Books, if you want to find it on YouTube, where he's sitting with somebody who's trying to propose their revolutionary movement proposal. I don't know what you'd call it. You know, they're sitting in front of paperwork, and Fred asks them about the education plan. They have all these other plans. They're going to put banks in place, this in place, that in place. He says, what most important is the education. So I'm going to play this clip for you.
Yeah. Because you dig, as far as we're concerned in the struggle, the way we look at struggle is that this depends on the educational thing, you dig?
Depends on the education thing.
Well, the whole thing. No, but in the end, this does. You can form this with no education. You can form this.
No, not the way we talking about forming it. You know, right. We talking about forming it, right. You know, it's not on the paper. We didn't write it on the paper.
Form it right with no education.
No.
Let me give you an example. Jomo Kenyatta formed the excellent revolution with no education. And on the end thing, Jomo told the motherfucker, said, well, you know, you can educate, hate the enemy, but I'm your brother. I'll help you lead the revolution. Now I'm more pressure. Another example, Papa Doc in Haiti. Papa Doc in Haiti hated everything white. Man, you couldn't put this white paper in front of Papa Doc's face. But he moved all the white people out and he took over and be the president. He did, because of no education. And the people that had been educated, they said that we don't hate the motherfucker white people, we hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow. So we got to know the educational program to find out what is going to be in the finale. A lot of people, Jomo Kenyatta is called not a never a revolutionary, but an ex-revolutionary. So it's Papa Doc. They brought on a successful revolution. That thing in the Miles was a bitch. Bantu freedom fighters, all that kind of action. What we're saying is the end. That you don't judge Castro now. You can't do it. Nobody in this room could judge whether Castro's going to be a revolutionary or not. You know what I mean? We're talking about things, you know what I mean, with China, the People's Republic, and even at the stage they're in now, talking about even going on further into a communistic state. That's what we're talking about. Those are revolutionary. So we got to understand here the educational program that you have to be able to figure out whether it will go on the right lines, where the people will end up in a situation where they can be able to really control themselves. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, the people take this local foundation and start stealing money because they won't be really educated to why it's the people's thing anyway.
That is so important to understand. And this has been decimated and desecrated in America. Without education, people even start stealing from, the programs that are helping themselves. Without education, let's get into Donald Trump. Without education, this is Tupac from 1992. They're going to play an ad. Or maybe two of them. Adobe. I remember when you can purchase this software, and now you got to rent it every month. What a joke.
This world, this world.
Here is Tupac from 1992. I don't have a background for this.
Oh, there's such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. Everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump. Gimme. Push. Step. Crush.
You hear him? You want to be like Trump? Gimme. Push. Step. Crush.
That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, I feel like instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. But we need help. For us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there. And now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels and they paid and everything. And they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, everybody need a little help on their way to being, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent.
This is from 1992, where he's talking about the greed of Trump. This is Tupac Amaru Shakur, prophet, rapper, actor. icon, legend, poet. It's so amazing to hear him say that, because this is a door a lot of us woke radical socialists been talking about, when people are like, oh, this guy's independently made. No, he's not. Without his dad, he'd be nothing. Without our government, he'd be nothing. Without the 38 billion in our taxpayer money, he'd be nothing. This dude would be worth nothing. He's an illegal immigrant from South Africa. Without Errol, his dad, by the way, Errol Musk, we went over this on the channel. There was a whole breakdown with a flow chart. Errol Musk's dad married his own stepdaughter, Elon's stepsister. I said, what do you call that? Sister wives? Daughter wives? Stepsister moms? Sister moms? If you want to know why he's so demented and lonely, has a sister-shaped hole in his heart, or dad one, or dad hole in his heart. I don't know. Anyways, he's not self-made, and just in my personal experiences in life, I've worked with these very wealthy people that love to pound on that door, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and I'm self-made. But, they didn't share with you that they lived at home in the same town until their 30s, and that their parents helped finance any business they started. Just like this dude walked around with emeralds in his pocket from his dad's partnership in an emerald mine. It's just amazing that even Donald Trump, the ultimate grifter, people think he's self-made, but the only reason he was allowed to fail and bankrupt casinos, water companies, airlines, state companies, universities, fraud charities, was because of his dad, and they want to act like they did it all themselves so they can use that to propagandize you to oppress your neighbors. And it's incredible to see Tupac in 1992 talking about this, that nobody was just born self-reliant. You're not a baby going, all right, I'm self-made, I'm going to start my meme coin company. That's not how it works. And a lot of people like to hide that behind the curtain like there's some goddamn Wizard of Oz. And it's just, man, these people are missed. Tupac, you are missed. In the year of our Lord 2026, weird to say that, we're going to ring in the new year with good people. People that helped their communities, people that inspired people that knew, they had the foresight, the wisdom, and they tried to share that through their art, through their speeches, through their writing, through their lives. True revolutionaries. Okay, continue on, Tupac.
You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about him, Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then you need to help him. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it needs to be real. And it need to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late,
And he's even true and on point with that. Even the billionaires like Gates, the Gates Foundation, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg allegedly participating in this. They all have these foundations where they're trying to give away more than half their wealth before they die. And they can't even do it. That's how wealthy they are.
I'm saying, and then that's when you got to pay your own karma.
And that's the other thing is, we went over this a few weeks ago on the channel. There was an article following up with this Gates Foundation where the billionaires are trying to give away their wealth. And they can't do it fast enough because their wealth accumulates so quickly when you have that much. It's compounding. And that's why this year of our Lord 2026 is a year of radical socialism, because when relied upon, we shouldn't have to rely upon charity, especially when we have a tax system where the working class has the brunt of the burden of the tax system. The working class does. And it doesn't even make sense, because to get $1 million, you'd have to collect it from 1 million working people, or you could get it from 1 billionaire. So even the math doesn't math on that. But the article that I went over a few weeks ago about this, giving their billions away, and Mark Zuckerberg just basically fucking flaunted out on it. He just was like, in front of the cameras, he hyped it up and has done nothing essentially since. Meanwhile, he's buying out sacred land in the island of Kauai on Hawaii from locals and natives and the indigenous who have rights and have lineage in that land for centuries, eons, and he's spending money to sneakily take their land from them in these weird, should be illegal court moves. So that's why we're going to rework the tax system. If Donald Trump can rework the tax system so corporations, billion and trillion dollar corporations, so that Netflix, when you're watching Stranger Things, or whatever you watch, I think you should leave now. Just remember that billion, trillion, quadrillion dollar company pays a less tax than you, percentage wise. I don't want to go over this in the comments again, because somebody was like, I don't make that much. And it's like, no, you moron. Donald Trump cut corporate taxes to 21%. And that's not their effective rate. They have write-offs. Like if they take a yacht to work, they get to write that off. But Donald Trump cut their tax rate to a permanent 21%. So Apple, when you use your iPhone, when you use it to go on Netflix and watch Stranger Things, just remember all these billion-dollar companies are paying a less tax than you, who has to work every day, which not only isn't fair, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because these companies use up way more resources and abuse our system way more. They create jobs that people can't survive and sustain themselves on alone. People need multiple jobs. So these are not job creators. These are poverty creators. These are poverty systems that keep people entrenched in needing to work these multiple jobs so they can have healthcare or survive, which that sounds like some third world grift, not America. And that's how we're going to start. We can't rely on these billionaires to just do a trust me, bro, I'll pay my fair share in charities. The ones I pick that maybe benefit me the most. No, we're gonna take that money back that is rightfully ours through taxes. We're going to set a tax rate. I don't know where my meme is. Hold on. Where is it? Just like back in the 40s, FDR had a tax rate of 94% on all income over 200,000, adjusted for inflation. That's like 3.5 million today. Just like Mamdani wants to do in New York, a 2% millionaires tax. Well, here in Massachusetts, we did a 4% millionaires tax, and it worked. No millionaires left, no billionaires left, and our millionaire population grew, and it benefits our communities. No kid goes hungry at school, no lunch debt. You get a free bachelor's degree at community college. So it provenly works. And America's done this before, but people elected the grifter Nepo baby Donald Trump to do what these grifter CEOs do. They cut backdoor and now out in the open deals with their corporate friends. So they give all their corporate friends tax breaks. Meanwhile, the working class takes on the debt. And our society doesn't get better. Our people don't get smarter. We don't get healthier. While all this stuff is happening, I'm here every single weekday. Hit subscribe, hit the notification, people. Waking people up to the fact that it can change. We can have the America of old, where we actually taxed wealth. Put 100, never mind a 94% tax. FDR would have been considered a woke radical socialist with that kind of tax today. And I say, move over, because we got to get even more radical. Anything over $999 million, taxed at 100%. So no one becomes a billionaire. We just need to eradicate it. Nobody tell me somebody's done with good with $1 billion. These people could. Did I save the tweet? No, I didn't. Oh, wait. Here it is. He's a billionaire. He could pay the salaries of every elementary school teacher in the U.S., still be a billionaire. He could fight hunger by fully funding SNAP, still be a billionaire. He could house every homeless person, every homeless vet. Do you support veterans? Elon doesn't. He could support every homeless shelter and still be a billionaire. He would not have to worry about egg, the price of egg. He could still play video games at work. He could still tweet all day. He won't do any of this, but you know what we can do? We can tax him at 100%. We could tax this illegal immigrant, Elon Musk, South African illegal immigrant. You know how we know that? Well, because his brother, Kimball, dumb name, by the way, Kimball, Elon, Errol, stupid names. No offense, just stupid. Comedy's legal again. What do you care? You know?
Legalized comedy.
Yeah, stupid names. It's a joke. It's a joke. Stop being so sensitive. You need a safe space? I told you I was radical.
They realized that we were illegal immigrants.
That's Kimball Musk, Elon's brother, talking about how they realized here in America they were illegal immigrants. But it doesn't matter. If you're an illegal immigrant who spends $250 million on Donald Trump, they overlook any rules or laws you break. They don't give a shit. That's why, what did he say? What did he say?
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him.
Don't take Tylenol.
Remember that? That was last year.
Quiet,
Piggy. All right, let's let Tupac finish.
And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. If they earned it, then I think that's good. I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got, don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? 32.
What would have Tupac have said if he was here in the year of our Lord 2026, where they're announcing on the news like it's some kind of accomplishment that Elon Musk is going to have $1 trillion. He's talking in 1992 about someone having 32 million. I'm so curious to know what Tupac would have said. My God. To find out Elon, the illegal South African immigrant who did a sig heil, by the way, is going to be a trillionaire. Meanwhile, Elon was CEO of 4 companies, got a special appointment for his bribery of the president to harvest our data, get all the government contracts and government welfare for his own companies, and put a video game. He bragged about this on Twitter. He put a video game system in his office at the White House and bragged. And I was like, how are you pretending to be a hard worker? Nobody who works hard has time to play video games at work. Have you ever played video games? They're all consuming. You don't just play one thing of Tetris.
$1 million, and this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies about. I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they're millionaires, and there's so many poor people, shows how unhumane they are.
I fucking love Tupac so much. And he says, and these millionaires are the ones who get the humanitarian awards. How could they be humanitarians by just the fact that they're millionaires? Tupac, radical, leftist, for those who didn't know.
You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves it. And I think there's a way to pay these people.
It's through a tax, Tupac. It's through taxing these people. That's how you make society better. And the great thing is for all the bootlickers, you don't have to worry. The billionaires will still be uber rich, still be in Ibiza on a yacht. They will still live in private gated communities and never support your local businesses. They will still separate themselves from you. But a tax will make sure the kid in your neighborhood doesn't go hungry. 1 in 5 children in America go hungry every night.
I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary. And it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion. But can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and it's my starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole 9. That's not fair to them.
God damn, I love Tupac. I think it's important to for people to understand certain things, you know, and to maybe hear that. Maybe there's the youth that loves Tupac's music and doesn't understand who Tupac was as a human. So it's important to put people onto that, you know, for people who weren't around when Pac and Kurt were here. Listen, if you're going to bootlick for Elon, go somewhere else, you know. We're talking about how to make our communities and our future better, not by how we're going to celebrate a trillionaire while 1 in 5 American kids go hungry. You're anti-American at that point. If you want to protect this illegal immigrant, Elon Musk, who is in the Epstein files, who's sig-hailed on stage, who has treated his black workers with racism and contempt, where you could go look that up, who is union busted, who has done a lot to dissemble America because he doesn't care about it. He just wants to reap its data. This is not the live stream for you, okay? I'll be very clear on that. We are here to talk about what taxes, where, when, and how. You know, we're going to tax the oligarchy. They have had it too easy for too long now. And Donald Trump was installed, that fascist puppet, by these oligarchs and broligarchs. That's why they all had a front row. That's why they're all donating to his Epstein Memorial Ballroom, because he's allowing them to do whatever they want. Whatever they want. Oh, Elon Musk, you got investigations into your company for how dangerous your cars are? Get rid of those government departments. And he did. And you'll defend that, you know. Just don't buy one of his cars or drive on the road next to him, because if a crash happens, you know, they should have been liable, but they never will, because he got rid of those government departments that protect the people. That's what the government's supposed to do. I mean, you people forgot that. Dusty. I haven't said hello to Dusty. Dusty, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you in the year of our Lord 2026. Musk has generational wealth. That's how he started. Yeah. That's how he got his start. That's the other funny thing. You know, these people, we talked about it the other week. Study that this new generation of billionaires mostly inherited their wealth. None of them earned it. Look at in front of your eyes, Larry Ellison and his son Fart. I believe his son's name is Fart Ellison. Larry Ellison and his son Fart. Larry is the billionaire. His son Ellison, Fart Ellison, is now CEO of all these different companies and a billionaire by being born. He didn't work hard, he didn't do anything, he was just born. Okay? And he's a front man. He's another puppet. So Larry can back away from the projects and pull strings elsewhere. These people didn't, you know, this isn't merit. This isn't meritocracy. This is how Donald Trump got his start, you know. His dad was a mover and shaker in the 60s and 70s in New York. And that's how Donald Trump can still survive with, I think, the most bankruptcies Doesn't he set a record for bankruptcies? I know he set a record for being the oldest president ever. Remember when people complained? They said Joe Biden's old. And then they elected the oldest president ever? Weird. You can draw a straight line from generational wealth to slavery. I believe it. I believe it. Some people, sometimes I just think the comments are there to be entertaining because there's no way you're serious people. This is another thing. We need to look at this in the year of our Lord 2026. Now, I understand some of you don't follow in the ways of Jesus, and that's totally okay. That's not me to convince you of. Jesus told me, live my life following in his footsteps, preaching for healing and helping people. And when you have the opportunity, be that good Samaritan. Help those people. And people will hopefully see the way you live and be inspired by that to go, how does that dude live? And then you say, let me tell you about my friend Jesus. He can walk on water. If you're a drinker, he can make your water into wine. Dude was great at parties. Dude always gave people hugs. You know, I believe Jesus was probably a big hugger. Wore flip-flops and a dress. Was not white and never had cash. But he paid his taxes from the mouth of a fish. And we need to stop letting the South, number one, the Bible Belt, and Joel Osteen, who's not in the Bible Belt, but he's a prosperity grifter, stop believing that, you know, people like Charlie Kirk represent Jesus, which he doesn't. He does not. He 100% does not. To be racist, to hate a community because of their skin color, or to be biased against people because of their skin color is the opposite of what Jesus preached. The opposite. Just go read the Good Samaritan parable. This dude is a fraud. He preached for what happened to him, too. You know, he advocated for what exactly happened to him. On the other hand, everything I've heard James Tallarico say has been not only insightful, but very interesting. He talks, I was listening to him talk the other day. I don't even know, I think he's a Texas dude. But James Tallarico said, you know, if I have to choose between my neighbor and my religion, he said, I'm going to choose my neighbor because Jesus never told me to worship my religion. He said, love your God and love your neighbor unselfishly. And the way you love your God is through loving your neighbor unselfishly. And I thought, damn, those were the reasons when I went to church. Because, you know, growing up, you go to church and they're speaking Latin because it's fucking Roman Catholic. It's just the Roman Empire co-opted Jesus's message so they could keep, you know, oppressing people. Why do you think they spoke Latin? You know, why do you think they read the Bibles in Latin? I'm old enough to remember going to church and they read the fucking shit in Latin. And I was like, what knowledge are they trying to keep from us? That made no sense. This is the opposite of what Jesus was. Jesus was God in the flesh, God for you, God to talk with you. No intermediary needed. You don't need to go to someone to go to God. You went right to him. And the fact that just Roman Catholics at their churches would read in Latin, I thought that in itself is anti-Christian. But it was interesting to hear James Tallarico talk about, you know, Jesus never says like, you got to worship Christianity. No, he says, love your neighbor unselfishly. So this is another thing we got to start the year off right, but letting people know, the faux Christians out there, the faux. I really want to play this Daily Show clip, but I think there's music under it. I had a Daily Show clip that I wanted to play because they splice Fox News's critiques of Mamdani. You know how they're like, I'll play a little bit of it. Because they critique, you know, what he promised to do in his term as a public servant. And they splice it with Donald Trump stuff, and it's so funny.
All of these promises by Zoran Mamdani cannot even be done.
We're looking at Greenland, and we have to take back the Panama Canal.
Many of the promises that he has made our third grade running for school president promises.
Canada would be great as our cherished 51st state.
So I don't know how much I can play of that because there's music in the background, but they do that. So if you can find the Daily Show clip of them splicing together Fox and Ben Shapiro saying, these are third grade promises, and then Donald Trump saying, Canada is going to be our 51st state. It's hilarious. These people take themselves seriously. You know, like this would be some of the best comedy if it wasn't ruining lives and spiking healthcare and raising taxes and making our communities less safe and, you know, infringing on all of our rights, eradicating due process. I mean, you name it. The other thing is, did you see Legal Eagle? He went down. I didn't bring this up, but because it's long. But if you get a chance, if you watch Legal Eagle on YouTube, he did a, what was the video called? I had to just play it in the background. Right?
Hey, Legal Eagles, I think...
Hey, Legal Eagles. Where the heck is it? Every illegal act Trump committed in 2025. And then in parentheses it says, so far. It's insane. Look at this. He looks like a Make-A-Wish kid. 80-year-old Make-A-Wish kid. I'll play a little bit of it.
It's hard to keep track of all of President Trump's criminality, illegality, and corruption. Donald Trump took office for the second time, already an adjudicated felon, fraudster, and sexual assaulter. But this video isn't about those crimes and offenses. This is only about what has happened so far in the last year. Because, I'll be honest, there's so much of it that it's hard to remember. And I guarantee that you've already forgotten half of it. So buckle up, because there's going to be a lot. And programming note.
So this is crazy, especially because day one is so long. Like how many illegal things he did on day one. And again, it's sad, hilarious, a word we created here on the showgram, on the pod stream, on the stream pod, streamcast, the Robcast, very creative. We had to create the word sad, hilarious, because things are like hilarious, but they're also really sad because the base of the cultists, I don't know what else to call them, the maggots, M-A-G-A-T-S, they like prided themselves on being the law and order crew, you know? They were like, we believe in law and order. We really believe in the law and the order. Really? Is it only for people of a certain color? Because Legal Eagle made a 40-minute video on all the illegal things Donald Trump has done.
Launched World Liberty Financial and a bunch of valueless meme coins. This allowed him to take bribes, engage in secret deals, and further enrich himself, all outside of many of the ordinary financial regulations. In Trump's first term, lobbyists, foreign governments, and Republican organizations curried favor with Trump by spending money at his Washington, D.C. hotel. But this time around, it's likely many individuals skipped the middleman and put money directly in Trump's pocket by buying the assets of World Liberty Financial and its various crypto offerings. Reports are that using World Liberty Financial, Trump has enriched himself by as much as $5 billion while in office.
That's really scary because who knows who he's indebted to, you know, who's purchased billions of meme coins and expected favors in return. Again, go look up, if you have 40 minutes, again, I had to play it in the background while I was doing other stuff. If you have 40 minutes, look up Legal Eagles, every illegal act Trump committed in 2025. Legal Eagle is a lawyer. I am not. And he knows the legalese terms and specifically the violations. And he documents everything he can remember, I'm guessing, because there was a lot. Again, sad, hilarious that Donald Trump's MAGA base, the maggots, think they're a law and order group. China debts. Yeah, I would not expect China, but Saudi debts. I think, what's his name? WMD's, the Royal Prince, I forget his name. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. I think IBS is the Saudi prince. I get confused on names. I meet a lot of people. Never met him, but That's probably why I haven't remember his name. But the Prince IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, has probably dumped a lot of money into it. You know, that's why Donald Trump looks so happy whenever he has that fascist over, that monarch. Russia debts, yeah, yeah. These people are monsters, idiotic monsters. Trump must be impeached. Nice to meet you, Harry Wilson. I appreciate the comment, and I agree. Russia debts, yeah. Whistler Wade. Dewey, no one has the balls to do that to Chicago Liberty, my neighborhood. I don't know what. There's other conversations going on. Trump is unfortunately a symptom of a problem in America, though. Yes, America has a oligarch problem. America always, I've said this for years. A lot of Americans, this is why the government and the oligarchs and the CEOs and the wealthy want to dismantle the education system, and they want to gatekeep higher education. They want to keep people as stupid as they can. Stupid enough, like George Carlin said, to run the factory machines, but not, you know, not smart enough to understand what's going on. And they want to keep us uneducated or gatekept from education, because the problem is these people think, a lot of people think that money equals smarts, you know? And then you got to listen to some moron, some Nepo baby say,
It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark.
Perfect mark. He aced his dementia test. You know, people are like, well, he was born rich. He must be very smart. Because again, Donald Trump's a Nepo baby. So they think these people that have money mean they're smart, and they don't look into their backstory, understand that they were born wealthy, or understand that they bought the companies, didn't create Tesla, just bought it. So they give them much more cred than they should be allowed. And they also, the American people, allow these people much more leeway. You know, if American people, especially maggots, believed in law and order, then they would want to hold CEOs accountable. If somebody dies or if they ruin the economy, they would want to send those people to prison. But they always let them off. They want to bail them out because they're too big to fail, and they want to let them off easy. Point in case, one of the largest trafficking rings in American history was this guy's best friend, Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump lived next to him. A big report came out that he was allowing his young girls that worked for him to go to his house, go to his neighbor's house, and was aware of what was going on over there. And the MAGA base, maggots, claim to not like PDF files. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know if they're standing by the claim that they want to protect kids anymore. I think now they're just like, move on. That's old news. You know, I don't even think they're trying to put up the facade of like they care about the children. Now they're just like, fuck the children, not in the Epstein way. You know, now they're just like, we don't care. He's our guy. You know, like they have just totally desecrated themselves to be the rats that they are. That's why the files look like this when they come out, you know? And we could have it better. I mean, even the Canadian comparison, you know, I've gone over this many times. Oh God, these Billies come in here every day. Aren't you exhausted of trying to defend that PDF file, Billy? I've never seen anybody work harder than the two Billies that come here defending the PDF files and Jeff Epstein. Like really, like you're dedicated. That dude has the notification bell on. So I appreciate that about him, but everything else, what he stands for is morals or lack of, I don't stand for. So please, let's get some people who have some integrity and want their fellow Americans to prosper, not just the 1%. And to hold people accountable, you know, especially when the files come out and we can see all this stuff, and to be investigated into, and to not redact co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein. Let's have those people hit subscribe and the notification bell, because the Billies are. Oh, Billy, you can say you're not subbed or bells on, but you're here every day, bro. So that's adorable. That's adorable. You trying to lie, but you know, you're here every day, nonstop, to defend your queef chief, Chief Queef. Your Smucker's birthday president, 80-year-old Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, all over the files. You know, you're here to defend, like, not even in a clever way too, but you're here to defend this guy, pictured with his best friend Jeff Epstein. Mushrooms. Who's talking about the magical medicine of mushrooms? Connie Donnie, the Chomo in chief. Yeah, the survivors know. For whoever said maybe they could ask the survivors, but they call them the victims. But I don't know if you've paid attention to people associated with him or him himself and how these people have shuffled loose this mortal coil, how these people have left Earth. But these are the most powerful, wealthy white men that are involved in this. This guy's running the country. There are maggots that elected this PDF file's best friend to run the country. And he's already sent the military and private police, his little white guy police force, into our streets. So if you're wondering why the survivors aren't just speaking up, because this dude has the full force of the American government and the American police, you know, following orders, which will not be a good defense when we have The Hague Part 2. We all love mushrooms here. Yeah. It's the majestic medicine that can heal PTSD from what I've read. But America is too backwards to allow scientists to study it. Ciphering money through Israel. That's another thing. Yeah, did you see they're sending billions in jets to Israel? Oh my God. So much of our money. So much. You know, and it's funny because there's people who support Israel, which Israel has universal health care through the support of the U.S., through our tax dollars. But they don't want the U.S. to have universal health care. It's like, why will you support our tax dollars to pay for other people's health care? I don't get it. They're so anti-American, these people. MAGA is the most anti-American. That's why, I don't know if other people are saying this. I haven't heard Chris Valenti or Hassan or the Majority Report or some more news make the comparison. But a couple centuries ago, before the country was known as the United States, when we were the colonies with the little snaky flag that said, "Don't tread on me, grr." The Americans, soon to be, would say, look, the redcoats, they're coming. The British, the redcoats are coming. And the traitors, the Benedict Arnolds, the redcoats, the turncoats. And I think it's such a fascinating thing that now we have red hats. The people who wear Make America Great hat that was made in China, making China great, you know, making their labor force better. Putting industries in China and Pakistan and Bangladesh and other countries. I know Vietnam, the socialist country, Vietnam. And Donald Trump is making, you know, he didn't bring his industry here. Isn't that another telltale sign when he's like, we're bringing industry back? If you thought he was going to bring any kind of industry back into America, why didn't he start with his own? He didn't make anything here. I mean, this has been proven many times. He does not make his stuff in America. It's not made in America, even though it says Make America Great. And you could do that by paying a union workforce. And he doesn't even do that. He grifted you on the clothes you bought from him. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, everybody's saying bye, Kimberly. Is that like bye, Felicia? Is that the new thing? I'm out. Okay, bye, Kimberly. Bye, Felicia. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Bye, Felicia. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Fuck off. I think I can get away with cursing as long as I do it in song form. So I'm trying to learn my son's instruments. But you know what the worst thing about these new digital instruments are? If I could just share this with you for a second. They don't give you manuals anymore. Everything's online and you have to read an online manual or follow people who have broken down the manual. And I'm old school. I like to read manuals. That's how you find stuff out. That's how you learn. I like to read manuals. And now they don't even give them to you in the box, and it drives me absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Yeah, see? Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. So now you have to go online and read these online digital packets and try to sift through it, and you can't mark the pages or highlight anything like a good book should be used for. You have to make the manual. You have to make the manuals. I'm not gonna make a manual. I can't make a manual. I can't make a manual. And I'm trying to figure out. No, 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 no. I don't wanna make a fucking manual. I don't wanna make a fucking manual. I don't wanna make a fucking manual. Please don't make me. Please don't make me. I don't want. I don't want. I don't wanna make a manual. I don't wanna make a manual. I don't wanna make a manual. Oh, see, that's another thing. That's another thing that we gotta figure out. There we go. That's the lo-fi vibe. That's the lo-fi vibe we were looking for. Yes, oh my God, Jay Peters. Do you think Galileo complained about reading the stars? I bet Galileo was like, why is there fucking no manuals to this? God damn! God damn, I'm just trying to read the stars, but I can't. But I can't. Why didn't somebody like Pluto or Plato? Was his name Plato or Pluto? Why didn't he write a fucking manual? Why was he always just thinking of thoughts in philosophy ways? I just wish he wrote a manual for the stars, for the stars, for the stars. This is not impressive. You're watching somebody who doesn't have a manual try to figure out all these buttons and knobs, and it's really infuriating. And I just wish there was someone who could sit down and fucking teach me this stuff. But I can't. I gotta learn it on my own, and I gotta do all this reading in my spare time on a digital manual, and I fucking hate digital manuals. Please just send a manual in the box with some paper that I can highlight and I can mark the pages. Oh my god, I would do anything for a fucking manual. I just want a manual. Please just fucking Roland, will you just send us a goddamn manual? Are we really cheaping out on manuals, people? I can't fucking believe it. Why would you cheap out on a manual that's an essential thing to somebody looking at this digital shit who's a Gen X millennial? What do we call them? Zennials? I'm a fucking zennial. I still remember what manuals were. Why are you taking the manuals out of the boxes, folks? Why would you do that to me? I can't figure this shit out on my own, and I don't want to read it on my phone. I just want to sit down with a good manual. A good manual. A good manual. I just want to sit down with a good manual and a box of coffee. That's all I want. I just want a manual. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I want. Give me a manual. Give me a manual. Please, please give me a manual. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just give me a manual. You know what I mean? But I got another thing coming in the mail. More Christmas gifts for my son. He's gonna know this shit cause he's young. And they're not gonna send a manual. Need that manual. You need the manual. Or keep them at the library. Dude, are you okay? No, nobody's okay. We're doing awesome. Why would you be okay when you could be fucking awesome? I'm ready to keep what I own without crap-heads taxing me out of it. Mega, I thought you liked cookie cutter stuff. Why are you going crazy? Mega can suck it. Mega can suck it. They defend this PDF. PDF file. PDF file. PDF file. I'm in a halfway house with a Hispanic fellow named Manuel. Can you please ask him the directions to this what's it called? Chord progressor? Can you please ask him? If you know Manuel, please ask him the instructions to this chord progressor, cause it's really hard to figure out. Uh-oh. See, and that's CJ, just so you know. I figured this is one way to get around when I have to tell MAGA, fuck you, you're ruining the country. I figured when I did it like this, fuck you, MAGA, you're ruining the country. See, why does that go down or go up when I'm going down? What the fuck, why can't I get this chromatically? Fuck you, MAGA, you're ruining the country. Fuck you, MAGA, you're ruining the country. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Fuck you, MAGA. Fuck you. Yeah, see, I gotta figure this shit out. Fuck you, blue shirt guy. You defend this weirdo creep. Fuck you, blue shirt guy. You defend this weirdo creep. And YouTube, you don't demonetize me because this is a song I just wrote right now. It's a song I just wrote right now, artistic license. So please don't. So CJ, that was one of the ways I figured I could get around it. All right, guys. Hit subscribe with the notification bell. Peace.